actually aren't far off.
Yeah.
Not bad.
We can have a little longer.
56 and they never have a beard like that. That's unfair. All right, go ahead.
Well,
29?
Yeah.
Last good year of your life.
So I've heard.
It's downhill after that.
29.
Actually, it starts at 23. I mean, there's nothing. 22, you kind of just getting over 21, but 23, I shouldn't say. It just starts to pick up when you hit 50. That's when you figure a little bit of shit out. Not a lot, just a little.
first, no worries. Off day yesterday, getting back at it to prepare for the trip here today. What was the focus as you guys get ready to go on this trip?
Well, we needed to deal with some things from our last outing. So we did that this morning and then did it on the ice. I liked practice today, so we got back at her.
And preparing for 3 division teams
Yeah.
on this trip, big trip in that regard when you play against 3 teams within your division?
Yeah, we wouldn't minimize it. This is like a playoff week here, right? Every game has, whether this week happens now or it happens in March, it's the same thing. So we've liked most of our hockey in the first 20, but we still have to get a lot to get better. I mean, we've got to improve in some areas, so it'll be a good test.
Going back to today's practice, you obviously were a little animated, a little loud. You were giving it. You can't let that keep going, right? Continue.
We all get paid to perform, and when you got 16 of your 19 guys that played that were lousy, the coaches got to take some heat for that too. I didn't like my job. I didn't get my job done the other night, so I got to come to the rink. Well, yesterday to get prepared for today, and then you got to get your job done today. So you have to. It's the easiest thing in the world to say, the guys were no good, but I get paid for a simple thing: is prepare a hockey team. It may not be that simple, but that's my job. So I didn't like my performance. I didn't like their performance. So we dealt with it today. Like we looked at it on video. We talked about the way we were going to move forward, and then we went out there. We wanted to not just get through practice, but put a day's work and earn it. Earn the right to be better tomorrow. So I'll do everything I can to be really good tomorrow, and I expect the players to do the same.
Still November, but 3 big divisional games.
Yep.
On the road. Pretty big.
Great,
for you.
great place to get it right, to get it together, to push for those next 20 games. Right, it's a good starting point. So, getting back to a hard game and an intense game and a grinding game. That's what we're going to get out of all 3 of these teams. So, it's a good week.
You've been mixing some things up here.
Yeah.
Trying to get some things going. You look at that second line. Any concern there as of yet, or?
No, I'm only worried about kind of the overall team game. I really don't care who scores. And I mean, I know that Sam Reinhart's in the lead on our team. Other than that, I'm not really sure where everybody sits. I will rarely look at that because it won't tell. It's not important in the team. So if a guy, Matthew Tkachuk breaks the 100-point barrier, fine. If he gets 75, fine. None of that really matters. It's all wins and losses and style of play. So for the most part, we're definitely ahead of where we were last year, I think, at this point in time. I'm not really worried about that. Like, the idea that you can find your lines in November, I'm not running those straight through to April or hopefully June. So we will move people around based on how things are going, the matchup, and I wanted the team to also be comfortable doing that.
Mahura out there in the non-contact, seeing him with the group, just what's the latest on him?
Exactly that. He's back, able to skate with us, non-contact, and that's the first stage. So I would think that over the next 3 or 4 days he'll get out of that sweater, get out of the gold, and get into a red. And then once that happens, we'll get leaning on him and get banging on him, and then he'd be ready to play. So I think a few days ago I said 7 to 10 days. I think we're still on that.
Is he traveling then?
Yeah, I think so. So we'll wait till he gets off the ice today, see how he feels, figure out the ice time going forward, swelling. What's the best use of ice for him? So if we feel he can get better treatment here and kind of skate, because we've got 2 morning skates, an off day, and then we're staying over, so there's no skating on the day that we fly back. He may actually get more ice time by not traveling with us. That'll be the team performance guy's decision.
Reilly,
yeah,
waivers.
You know what? Good for him. Like, I'm happy for him. We would have loved selfishly for Mike to have cleared waivers, so we've got a good NHL depth defenseman playing in Charlotte that we can call up. But we had an unusual set of circumstances. We brought a bunch of guys in because we had the 2 injuries, and they were long term, and they competed for jobs, and we just really liked where Kulikov, Mahura, and Balinskis finished. I think that they played but Mike didn't do anything wrong to not make it. It just, the other guys had great camps. So you got kind of caught in this not playing. And to his credit, Mike worked hard every single day. He was a positive around the group. It's a difficult situation for a man that wants to play in the National Hockey League. So we're actually really happy for him that he gets a chance. They got some injuries. He'll get in a chance. He'll play well because he practiced hard. He'll be a good player for him.
Cooley back in tomorrow.
Oh, I have to talk to the players first before I'd announce that.
The goalie, though, for same?
Yeah, the same. And I have to talk to the goaltender first. I still got to talk to Tally about that, yeah.
And just real quick, just a little bit, we just talked about, you don't care about if Tkachuk's got 75 or 100, whatever. But 3 goals, first 20, whatever it is, and you guys are in second place. I mean, he kind of talked about that during the offseason that, hey, whatever, if we're winning, does it matter?
100%. The number of teams, go back and look at the history of some teams that became really good scoring teams, and they were right there, but they couldn't get there. And then all of their top guys' numbers came down, and they started to win. So that's a natural progression of respect for the team game. Score less, win more.
But you'd still like to see Tkachuk a few more, right? Or is it
I'm happy that Mikola's got a few more than everybody expected, and Stenlund's got a few more. Nobody cares. Most of all, Matthew, right? We want his game right. We want his defensive game right. And I'm pretty sure, if I was betting, that the bigger the game, the higher likely a chance that he scores it. So I still think that. And I ended that sentence with a preposition. I apologize for that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
If we care for each other, you'll let it back.